Hello, my little friends. My name is Mary Ryan, and I am from the Frankfurt Public Library District. Now, you may know that we were supposed to do our fairy tale trail last week, but it got canceled. So I have decided to share a fairy tale with you today. This fairy tale is Sleeping Beauty. Once upon a time, far, far from this place, a king and queen welcomed a brand new baby. She was beautiful. She was the sweetest little child, and they called her Briar Rose. Isn't that a lovely name? Now they invited lords and ladies, nobles, kings and queens, and emperors to celebrate the birth of their child, and they also invited 12 fairies, because they had 12 golden plates. The problem is, there were 13 fairies who lived near them. And on the day of the grand celebration, all of the fairies came up to give the princess a gift. One gave her beauty, one gave her the ability to dance, one gave her a lovely singing voice. And right before the last of the 12 fairies gave a gift, the doors to the grand hall were thrown open by the last fairy, the one who had not been invited, a dark fairy, sometimes called Maleficent. Maleficent strode in and said, "Oh my, why have I not been invited to this grand occasion?" And the king and the queen tried to make all sorts of excuses, but in the end, the fairy would not be appeased. So she decided to give the baby a gift too. She said that when Princess Briar Rose reached her 16th birthday, she would prick her finger on a spindle and die. And then, in a great big ball of smoke, she disappeared. Well, you can understand, everyone was very upset, but the last fairy had not given her gift yet. She said that she was not strong enough to completely destroy the evil fairy's curse, but that she could change it. When Briar Rose pricked her finger on a spindle, she wouldn't die, but she would fall asleep until she was awoken by true love's kiss. Well, the king and the queen were determined to do everything they could to protect their daughter, so they sent her to live with 3 of the fairies in the woods. They changed her name to Aurora, and there she hid for years, slowly growing up, having no knowledge that she was a princess. Meanwhile, the evil fairy and her minions were searching for the princess to ensure that the curse came to fruition. Now, when Briar Rose turned 16, she was told the truth, and it just so happened that that very same day she'd met a lovely prince in the woods. He didn't know who she was either, but they spent the day together, and everything was going very well, and then she came home and found out she was a princess, and she had to go back to the castle. When the fairies brought her there, that's when everything turned bad, because the evil fairy was prepared for that. She cast a spell on Briar Rose, and Briar Rose walked up into one of the tallest turrets of the castle, and there was a spinning wheel. The one spinning wheel in the entire kingdom that the king and queen hadn't found and destroyed, leaving all of their citizens in rags. Briar Rose walked up and touched her finger to that spinning wheel spindle and fell into a sleep like death. The fairies were so very upset that they put the entire kingdom to sleep. Everyone fell asleep exactly where they were standing. Now, depending on who you ask, 100 years went by, or perhaps it was just a few days, but everyone agrees that the prince arrived, and he cut his way through the thorny bushes that surrounded the castle, and he found his way up to Briar Rose's room, and he gave her a kiss, and woke the princess and the entire kingdom as well. The curse was destroyed and the day was saved. Isn't that a lovely story? There's so many different versions of it, and in some of them, The evil fairy isn't even the villain. What's your favorite version of Sleeping Beauty?